Good evening. Welcome to our YouTube live, a Sunday special, except it isn't a live. I'm sorry about that. Unfortunately, I couldn't be with you in person right on time today. And so rather than say, let's not do anything, I thought, let's video it for you. But not only that, let's bring you something new and special, just to make up for the fact that I'm not with you in person. So by all means, comment on the YouTube live, but it will be comments that everybody can see, not just our little group there, so don't forget. So the items that I'm going to be using today, so you might already be spying that there's a couple of new things here, and so that's what we're going to go with. So we first of all are going to be using the gorgeous scalloped stitch 7. So I'm making a 7-inch card, and I've already made this one up. So this is the scallop on the outside and then plain on the inside. Can be intermatched with the ordinary Easy Frame 7. When I say 7, they're to fit onto a 7-inch card, which I'll bring in here to show you. One 7-inch card, and it fits within it. Okay, so it isn't that it's a 7-inch, it's that it actually fits into your 7-inch card, because that kind of makes more sense to me. I've cut it out from satin mirror cards, satin gold mirror card, and then I've cut the white one from white hammered. So I've already done that. We have got a couple of new dies. So we've got the die set from Creative Expressions Sue Wilson. This is her 2024 festive collection, and it's called Candy Canes. A set of 10 dies. So you've got 2 candy canes, one facing one way, one facing the other. You've got a sprig of fir type of thing, fir tree. You've got some holly leaves and holly berries, and you've got a bow. All goes together really nicely and a little bit different. I have to say, I think it's a little bit American, because we don't do candy canes so much, but why not? Why not? So that's what we're going to use today. Unfortunately, they are on a very, very limited amount. I got what I could. They will be coming back in again, that's for sure. But at the moment, this is what I've got, is what I've got on that one. And then I'm going to be introducing a new Stargazer Trellis background. So our background dies seem to be going very well, so I've decided that I'm going to do a few more of that type of design. We like to be able to have something going on in the background. Often it's a embossing folder, which gives you that texture, which gives you that pattern, so that you can put your focal point on top. But why not give it as a die? So this one is the Stargazer Trellis background die. It has got 2 dies to it. You can see that this outer one, so then that cuts it to about 14 centimeters, which is just under the 6 inches. But it also can be removed, and then you could obviously make this even wider, as we haven't got an outer cutting edge on the actual trellis itself. So it's a really, really pretty design. We're going to be using that one. I'm also going to be using the double-sided tape and some sparkly. So this one is called Diamond Snow. This is by Cosmic Shimmer. It's not the one that I used the other day, which was very, very sparkly, but it is still sparkly. I didn't want the emphasis to be on the sparkle this time, but this is still equally lovely, but it's more like a softer sparkle. You'll see what I mean when I've done it. So without further ado, let us get on. I will bring that back in at the end just to remind you. So I have taken the opportunity of cutting these pieces, and first of all, let me show you this little gorgeous one, because I'm very proud of this one. So this is our Stargazer Trellis background die. As I said, really very pretty, very delicate. So we've got some sort of stars, sort of sparkles going on in the centre of it. And if you're putting the Stargazer on top of it, it looks really lovely. Just bring that in and show you. So that makes a beautiful frame for the centre. Really, really lovely. But nevertheless, also just as equally lovely on its own. And that's how we're going to be doing it. I'm going to do it in a similar way as we did a card a couple of weeks ago. So I've already cut a piece of card of 15 centimetres by 15 centimetres. This happens to be hammered white, but it doesn't really matter because we're going to be covering it. And I've also then cut a piece of double-sided adhesive sheet, again at the same measurement, 15 centimetres by 15 centimetres. That then will give me a little bit of a border all the way around, which I feel is needed just for a bit of wriggle room really. So let's, without further ado, get this stuck down. So I'm going, this has, it obviously as the name suggests, two sides of adhesive. So I'm going to do my best to peel off the back piece. Never do it, never do it. Hold that one back down again. And then I'm only going to peel it down a little way to try and get it on there a bit easier. Just going to pop that onto the edge of my piece that I've already cut, and then whilst pulling this piece away I can then guide that down. I can hear the bubbles. Let's squash the bubbles. And then I'm going to take this piece off, and then that will reveal a very sticky sheet. And I'm going to keep this as the carrier sheet to be able to press down onto in just a little while. So I'm then going to take my trellis that I've cut out. Now this is how it cuts out in one, so without taking the outer piece off, just gives me an easier way to work really, without having to, I didn't want to extend the pattern, so I'm fine with that. I'm going to put that in the middle as much as I can. I'm going to take my carrier sheet back again and then press down. Otherwise I would get in a sticky mess. So press down firmly. So I'm pressing this back on, but at the same time I'm pressing down the Stargazer trellis frame onto that sheet, and then can peel that off, and I know that all those little intricate bits are going to be really well stuck. I can then throw that piece away. Got an old bit of card here, so I'll take that, and then I'm going to carefully sprinkle on, as I said, my diamond snow. And as I said, this is it is subtly sparkly. That's such a thing? I think it probably is. Comes in a 25ml pot. Goes absolutely on forever, which is what we need. And there are many ways to have it stuck, but this, with the, if you want to do on the background there, it's just a really good way of doing it. So I'm just using my finger to rub it in. It's not sharp or anything. Just making sure that I've got it in all of the little bits. Now I'm going to just tap off all the excess, and then, now it's not going to sparkle as much as the other one did, but hopefully you can see that it does sparkle, and in real life it sparkles even more. But I didn't want the emphasis, as I said, to be on the sparkly bit this time. I wanted to fill in the background a little bit with a bit of sparkle, but I also wanted to put in the lovely candy canes. So that's the gorgeous Stargazer trellis, and I'm just going to scoop up. Should have had a bigger container there, shouldn't I? There we go. Now then, you hardly know that I've even used any. So let me just wash this down a second, because I don't want glitter absolutely everywhere. Well, glitter, that's the purpose of glitter, isn't it? To get absolutely everywhere, but whatever. So then I'm going to take my gorgeous candy canes. Now I have already cut these up because I thought that I would show you them in all their glory rather than anything else. So these two are the candy canes, and as I said, they cut out in different ways. So you've got two dies in one here. You've got the outer one, and if you use on its own, it will just create that background. I've cut that out of the satin gold, and then I've used the two together, and that I've cut out from Christmas red, and that is going to fit exactly onto there. And I've done the same with the other one, so that I've got one facing one way and one facing the other. So that's how you get that sort of lovely stripy effect, by using both dies, one as a solid behind and one as the two together to give you the stripes. But you do need to, in order to give you that effect, you do need to use both of them. So cutting it out twice. So just going to place that on top of there, and then whilst I'm at it, we'll do this one as well. And then I've cut out the lovely bow. That's very pretty, and that's going to go on it too. And then I'm going to show you the fir tree bits. I've cut some of them out just to give it something a little bit different. I haven't used any of the holly, but of course equally you could use the holly. You've got 3 sizes of leaf there and some separate berries. I'll just hold that in place, and then, as I said, here is my sprigs of, so that's how that cuts out. Can't see that very well. Let's put that down there. It's very fine, but very, very nice. So we're going to pop them together as well. So we've got all of our bits cut out, all assembled, all ready to go. Let's bring in our card. I'll do it as a side folding today. So first of all, I'm going to bring in my Stargazer trellis background, which, as we said, sprinkled that with the diamond snow, and I'm going to just simply put some glue onto the back and stick that straight onto the front of my card. So on the back there's no sticky. This was the back of the piece of the white card, so there's no sticky at all on the back. So the two sides was both stuck onto the front. That double-sided went onto the front there. So if you're not familiar with it, don't worry about the fact that the background will be all sticky, because it isn't at all. Like that even as that now. Very pretty. Now I'm going to first of all then put on my frame, because the candy canes go in the centre and we want them to be in the centre, so we need to frame it first really. That just lends itself, doesn't it? Yeah, it lends itself to so many things before you've even started. So I'm going to get my foam and I'm going to pop that onto the back of my frame. So I'm using 2mm foam today. I do usually use 2mm, but I've had a 3mm phase and now we're on a 2mm phase. So just popping that all onto there. And take these off. Now I'm not quite sure how popular these frames will be, and as always, the good thing about the Maximumcraft range is that they are soon back in stock. If they do sell out quickly, we don't have to wait weeks and weeks. We do only have to wait a couple of weeks and they're back in stock. So I'll keep my eye out. I will be around, I just won't be near a camera and things. So I will keep an eye out, and if they do go on limited stock, I'll make sure that they go onto a pre-order as well. Look at that. Oh, doesn't that make your heart sing? Does mine anyway. I think that just looks so lovely. If you just put a sentiment on there, it would look lovely, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, but I'm just saying, if you did. So let's put these lovely candy canes. Now I'm going to show you how I want to put them. That way, they're going to go into the centre like that, but I'm going to put on these little, just trying to organise where they should go. Now, should they be? No, they need to be crossed, and they need to have that pine cones on as well. So let me just now take them off. I think if we were to put them in the centre like that, let's give it a go. And then actually those two down a little bit, these two up a little bit, these two crossed, and are they in the right place? I think they more or less are actually. So let's start off there. So I'm just going to put some glue onto not all of it but the bottom of it, but bear in mind I have got glitter down in the bottom part here, and so I'm sticking it onto a glittery area, so I need to be even more patient, which, as you know if you're a regular viewer, is not one of my strong points. Oh, I haven't noticed that's not come out. Just to enable it to grab onto a glittery uneven surface, so just be aware of that. Using the Dry's Clear glue, and the gun that I'm using is from My Sweet Petunia, which is a godsend to me. The glue that's in it can be your own. It's not something I sell, just pop online and have a look. But I'm very pleased with how it all goes together. Right, so that's that. Obviously you don't need to use these, but I thought that looked, I've seen a few samples and I thought that it did look quite nice when you put the pine behind it. Then we're going to cover these. So I think we need to put a bit of foam. That'll be the answer. I'll put a bit of foam on here, on the back of this one. Oh, a bit too long. So put a bit of foam onto there. That little bit can go up there. So this is the one that goes on the bottom. And obviously I don't want foam on the one that goes on the top, otherwise they'll be uneven angles, uneven levels. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So I'm going to put that one on first. I'll put some extra glue on it to make sure that it does stick well. Now if I put foam on the back of this one, that would also then give me an extra thickness, but it would then mean that that one was too proud. So I'm going to put a little bit, if I stick that onto there, the only places that I need to put foam are behind this bit and then maybe a little bit behind this bottom bit here, so that it's even. So I'll just do that. So I'll break off a little bit here. So a little bit on that section there, and a little bit at, at the bottom, and then gluing it in the middle where it's going to cross. And then you'll find that they're all at the same depth even. So that's the bit where it's going to cross. That needs just a little extra bit. And then that way you've got the same height, depth, whatever you want going on. And then finally, going to put this lovely little bow on the top there. Not going to put any foam or anything, just going to put a bit of glue into the centre. Don't need it on the ends because the ends are going to hang over the side, just into the centrepiece. Give it a chance to grab. And there you go. One very pretty candy cane card. So a bit different, but showcasing all of the dies, I think, beautifully. So let me just recover what we had. So we had the brand new Stargazer Trellis background, which is this one here. Hopefully you can just see that. Hold on. Can just see that, the Stargazer Trellis here. Then you've got the Scallop Stitch 7s, which is these two dies here. So that scalloped one here and the background in the satin gold, and then this one in the hammered white. And then you've got some the Creative Expressions candy canes, which is all of that bit there, candy canes, bow and the fir tree. You've got double-sided self-adhesive sheets, which you cannot see, but you have also got the Cosmic Shimmer Diamond Snow, which is this little devil. And again, not half as shiny as the one that we did with the Merry Christmas die, but enough just to be subtle enough in the background. And I think that gives you a really lovely mantelpiece pleaser, as they say. Yeah, why not? I actually call it one of a very expensive shop cards. That's what I'd call it. But yeah. So there you go, folks. Thank you for joining me today. I know I wasn't here to speak to you in person and have a little chat, but nevertheless, I was here. All of the items that we've got are available while stocks last over on the maximumcraft.com website. The ones that the candy canes I cannot get anymore just at the moment, because that's Creative Expressions and I've bought all that they have. But after that, hopefully we will be able to get them later on once they restock. But they do take a few weeks before they come back in again. If any of these others sell out, the Trellis and the Scallop Stitch, I can get those back in, and we'll keep an eye on it so that we are not going to be disappointed. My next YouTube live will be this Wednesday, the 17th of July at 6 o'clock UK time, but obviously it can always be watched at any time on there, so you no need to worry if you have missed it or can't make it at that particular time. I have got an online workshop on Saturday the 20th, and then we have our first Christmas card launch, which is on Sunday the 21st of July at 6 o'clock. So I do hope that you can come to some, all, or any of our next week's entertainment value for you. Not sure if it's an entertainment value, but you know what I mean. But in the meantime, I hope you've had a lovely weekend. Hope you have a good week. And thank you so much for your support as always. Take care till then. Bye.